Okay, sixth graders, let's talk about example 2, solving an inequality using division. And this is part of chapter 7, section 7, solving inequalities using multiplication or division. Before we get into example 2, let's talk about the division property of inequality. That says when you divide each side of an inequality by the same positive number, the inequality remains true. So for example, written numerically, if we have the inequality 8 is greater than 6, and then if we divide both of them by 2, so see how it looks like fractions? That's because it is. Remember, fractions is dividing. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So our inequality still remains true, meaning that 4 is still greater than 3. Written algebraically, if we have the inequality 4x is less than 8, we want to get x by itself. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. So that's 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we can simply just write x is less than, and then 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then over here, we can graph that inequality with an open circle because 2 is not a solution. And that also means that any number less than 2 is a solution to the inequality. Okay, so let's do some on our own from example 2. So problem A says solve 4n is greater than 32 and graph the solution. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a line down the middle of my inequality, which is under the greater than symbol. And we want to get n, the variable n, by itself. So let's divide both sides by 4. We're going to divide because 4 and n are being multiplied. And the inverse or opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. Let's see, I know 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we can just cross those 4's out on the left side. So we just have n. N is greater than, and then 32 divided by 4, I know that's 8. So we can go ahead and graph that. It's going to be an open circle because 8 is not a solution. And n needs to be greater than 8. So our arrow is going to go, oops, that's a circle, not an arrow. Our arrow is going to go to the right, meaning that any number greater than 8 is a solution. So for example, 12, if we substitute 12 for n, 12 is greater than 8. That is a solution. Let's go to problem B. It says solve 11k is less than or equal to 33 and graph the solution. The middle of my inequality is the less than or equal to symbol. 11 and k are being multiplied. So let's do the inverse of that, which is division. And we are going to divide both sides by 11. I know 11 divided by 11 is 1, so we can just go ahead and get rid of those 11s. They cancel each other out, equals 1. And then we're just left with k. So k is less than or equal to 33 divided by 11 is 3. So k is less than or equal to 3. Now, since it's less than or equal to, our circle when we graph is going to be closed. Because 3 is a solution. 3 would be equal to 3, and that's what the less than or equal to means. Okay, but our arrow is going to go to the left, though, because k could also be less than 3 to be a solution as well. Okay, let's look at problem C. It says solve k, oops, that shouldn't say kj. That should say 5j. Okay, so 5j is greater than 20. Okay, let's write our line down the middle, which is under the greater than sign. So 5 and j are being multiplied, so let's divide to get rid of the 5. We want to get the j by itself, the variable j. We're going to divide by 5. I know 5 divided by 5 is 1, so that gets j by itself. So j is greater than 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now our circle will be open because 4 is not a solution. And j needs to be greater than 4, so our arrow is going to go to the right. All right, pause the video and see if you can solve 50 is less than or equal to 2m on your own. Okay, to solve it, we're going to draw a line underneath the less than or equal to sign because that's the middle of our inequality. We're going to try and get the variable m by itself. Since 2 and m are being multiplied, we're going to divide both sides. Division is the inverse or opposite of multiplication. And we are going to divide by 2 because 2 is being multiplied to m. Okay, looking at the left side, just like we're reading left to right, 50 divided by 2, I know that's 25, is less than or equal to, and I know 2 divided by 2 is 1, so the 2's can get rid of those. They cancel out, that's 1, so we don't need to write that down. So we just have m on the right side. Okay, when we graph this, we are going to use a closed circle because 25 is a solution because our inequality is less than or equal to. And then m needs to be greater than 25. Just like that. And we're done.